go ahead and do this. Setting 1, unlock Malachite. Confirmed. The mutant cell has been unlocked. Malachite mutant cell. All right, setting 2. Okay. Right? Equip mutant cell. Oh, hell no. What's going on, everyone? So, as everyone knows, the new dynamic motion / jiggle physics update is out. That comes with another arc tuning expanse inside of the arc tuning board. And there's a couple things I want everyone to be aware of. And the arc tuning board is good, and the advances that they put in there are good. However, it's going to demotivate a lot of players that are playing the game and have already arc tuned the majority of their descendants. So the things that they have added to the board are a couple more slots inside of the board, as well as something called a mutant cell slot. The mutant cell slot comes locked. Whenever you unlock it, you just unlock the capability to slot it with a mutant cell. Here I have slotted Luna with a defense neutralization cell. This will provide a defense subtraction of 50% and an attribute subtraction of 30% for all of the attributes. A 30% attribute removal will net you around 12 to 15% more damage depending on the original resistance of the thing you're fighting. In order to get a mutant cell, you are going to have to get it from the spoils box. The spoils box has a 5% chance drop on a Sigma sector run. In addition, you're going to need fission accelerants to unlock the slot. You'd need 100 fission accelerants, and you drop around 10 on the Sigma sector. However, these aren't really a stopgap. It seems like this is the stopgap for the Sigma sector runs, but you're really going to need 20 runs per spoils box anyway, so you're just going to get way more than you need of the fission accelerants. Unfortunately, if you want to remove the slot to use it on another character or another loadout, that's right, loadout, as you can see in settings 2, I do not have the mutant cell inside of the slot. That is because the mutant cells are going to be loadout independent. This might sound like it sucks, and it does, but the reason they have done this is because you can have multiple things in different slots. For example, this is a cerulean slot, and this is also a cerulean slot. So inside of the loadout, they would have to make it to where you had a little drop down inside of the mutant cell slot itself if you were wanting to reuse your mutant cells, which I think they definitely should have done, because me having to go back and grind for another spoils box 20 times just so I can have another loadout is actually bupkis. And then if you want to remove it so that you can place a different spoils box mutant cell, you would have to use 100 of the ARC genetic scissors. This is all fine and dandy, except for all of the people that already unlocked all of the arc tuning for all of their descendants. If you have to get another build, which you're probably going to want at least one of the spoils box, sometimes you're going to want 2 of them. That's a minimum of 40 runs per build with the spoils box reward. That's insane. There's 20 descendants. A lot of people like unlocking everything for every descendants, and I want to have a defense neutralization on my build for the attribute resistance removal. There's not even non-attribute removal on the defense neutralization. Now, that could just be a misnomer. Inside of the game, defense and non-attribute have the same resistance, so it might be either defense or another resistance. If it's non-attribute for defense, that's actually really good for Luna, but we just don't know because tooltips. There's the Arc Efficiency Enhancement Xantic module. The only problem is that I really want to be here and here, and this is a rutile, and this is a malachite. If I wanted Xantic, I would have to be knee deep in the firearm tree, which I have no business doing. So I don't understand why they would do that to begin with. I don't know if that's a balancing tactic or anything like that. All I'm saying is, ew. But if I'm any Descendant trying to get the most out of a build, right, I would need 20 runs to get one box. Inside of the 20 runs, I would get one box, 200 of the components to unlock a slot, and then 200 of the components to unlock my mutant cell acquisition into a slot if I wanted to do that. Now, the good part is, if I want to arc tune a character, I'm going to need way more than 20 runs to do so. So if you go in with the purpose of unlocking arc tuning for a Sigma sector, you're going to need a lot more than 20 runs, because the 5% chance is fine drop rates, I guess, unless you already have your arc tune character. The only problem is, if I have 20 characters that I want to get 2 boxes on each, it's a minimum of 400 arc tuning runs. And it's going to be more, because a lot of different builds and a lot of different things are going to need me to just have more than this, especially for all the content creators out there. This is like atrocious. This is a disaster, to be honest with you. I'm not doing this. I will probably just pick a couple characters to have fun with and do this. I assume they'll make it better in the future, but just to know what you're headed toward into. If you want 20 characters with 2 boxes on it, you're going to have to run arc tuning at least 400 times, because there's no way to increase the amount of spoil boxes or drop rates or anything like that. Maybe they'll change it in the future, but it is what it is. But on the bright side, everyone is very happy and pleased with the dynamic motion that we are enjoying. Although everyone that has been playing the game has already done the majority of their arc tuning, and we're all sad. If you have any questions about how any of the new stuff works, drop it in the comments. I'll be doing some of the new grinding for the new boss that came out too. The new version of the Dead Bride, the Ice Maiden, is also here, but it's a Void Abyss boss. Melt it in 5 seconds with whoever, it doesn't matter. Never mind on the Ice Maiden. It might take a little longer than expected. I do a lot of stuff on Twitch. I did this on Twitch. If you're interested, check me out. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Y'all have a sick day and peace out.